Welcome back to the Deep DISCOG Dive. Let us pray. Our Father, who art in Miami, hallowed be the 305. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth through Mr. Worldwide. Give us this day our little Chico, and forgive us our... as we forgive those who... against us. And lead us not into Times Square with the Kodak, but deliver our lives from negative to positive. I just want you to know that. Dale. Today, we're talking about Pitbull. Let's dive in.
Pitbull.
Ah, look, it's Ronan. Defender of the week. Pooper of parties.
This time, we're going to Miami. Armando Christian Perez was born in January 1981 as a first-generation Cuban-American. His whole family hailed from Cuba. His mother came over through Operation Peter Pan, the large-scale exodus of Cuban children in the early 1960s. She also, according to Armando, did most of the parenting. His father was around, but largely absent after he and Armando's mom split. But his father did leave an impact in one way. After bouncing between foster homes, Armando found himself following in his father's footsteps, earning his money the same way his dad did. Ziploc bags of powdered sugar. Young Armando found himself in the Miami drug game, but he had higher aspirations. He looked to musicians such as Jay-Z, Nas, Celia Cruz, Willie Chirino, and the Miami bass scene at large, a scene defined by pounding bass, dance rhythms, and stuff you probably couldn't say on Bluey. In 2001, Armando signed to Luther Campbell's Luke Records. Luther's better known as Uncle Luke from 2 Live Crew. His chosen artist name was Pitbull, based on the dog of the same name and their trademark Restless Spirit. Pitbull's first appearances on an album were 2 songs off Uncle Luke's Something Nasty. Pitbull was not long for Luke though, as he soon signed a new deal with Slip and Slide Records. It was also during his Slip and Slide time that Pitbull recorded what might technically be his first solo album, Welcome to the 305. I say technically for 2 reasons. 1, Pitbull is not actually on the record that much, and 2, it never officially came out. While it's never been confirmed why, one possible reason is that Pitbull quickly changed labels again and joined TVT Records. This change in label will lead to a funny story related to this album, so please mark that on your calendar. Every artist needs a champion, someone to vouch for them when they're starting out. For Pitbull, that champion was Lil Jon. The two met in Miami, and Lil Jon took a liking to Pitbull after hearing future Too Fast, Too Furious soundtrack highlight, Oye. In 2002, Pitbull even got his very own song on Lil Jon's album, Kings of Crunk. Uncle Luke, Lil Jon, Too Fast, Too Furious, Slip and Slides. All 4 things in the universe were in Pitbull's favor. The stage was set. All that was left was to begin the journey. In this life, there are things that are true because of facts and things that are true because of something greater than us. The love of your partner or parent can't necessarily be quantified, but it's real all the same. Pitbull having albums is something that is factually true, but I bet some of you clicked on this video because you were like, Pitbull had albums? And he does, way more than you'd expect. And that discography began with Money is a Major Issue, or Miami, in August 2004. Now let's see how Pitbull's early work differed from his more mainstream stuff. Miami is mostly comprised of dance tracks with production common to the time it was made, and Pitbull rapping about money, partying, and women. Wow, that is completely different to what his music is now.
Being by that boom, Mr. Worldwide, when I step up in the room, darling. And today I want to ask you, damn girl.
I was quite surprised to find how early the Pitbull formula was established, and it won't change much from here, which means we really get to focus on the specific differences made to the core formula. The first difference here is the production on Miami. It's in line with the sound of popular 2000s rap music. Crunk, Miami bass, a bit of reggaeton. Lil Jon's behind the board for most of Miami, along with the Diaz brothers and a couple other producers, but still, the sound of this record encourages you to get on the dance floor, just in a very 2000s way. The only thing I love more than dancing is crank yankers. I'm not gonna say Pitt was ever a mind-melting lyricist, a lyrical miracle, a Doritos, Cheetos, and Fritos, but he's got passion, he's got heart, he's got the classic to signal his impending entrance on any verse. Did you know he trademarked that, by the way? But it's especially hard to name specific Pitbull songs because, as we will see going forward, most Pitbull songs are pretty similar. Culo, which of course means ass, has a good hook, good Jamaican rhythm, good ad-libs by Lil Jon. It's definitely radio ready. Same with Shake It Up with that wiggly synth. So 2000s, why don't we have more wiggly synths in pop music these days? I Wonder has a hook that reminds me of Don't Funk With My Heart. Turns out that's because they both sample. Hustler's Withdrawal is a more serious track inspired by his and his father's time running drugs. Solid production on this one. And Melting Pot also has solid production, courtesy of DJ Khaled? Hit the button! Tell him to bring out the lobster! This album is a fine example of Pitbull's core ethos and musical style, though I would recommend checking out specific highlights over a full album listen. You know what surprises me more than M.I.A.M.I being fine? It doing pretty well when it came out. It wasn't a smash hit necessarily, but reviews were positive overall, the record sold well, and Culo got up to 32 on the Hot 100. I really did think I'd be covering more humble beginnings when it came to Pitbull, but nah, dude was doing alright in the mid-2000s. In 2005, he joined the Anger Management Tour with Eminem, 50 Cent, and Lil Jon. He also released a remix companion to M.I.A.M.I called Money Is Still a Major Issue? Masami is okay. In early 2006, he scored his first TV role, guest starring on the UPN one-season wonder South Beach with Giancarlo Esposito? And in October 2006, Pitbull released Mariel. See, his mind really is in 3006. On South Beach, he enters on a boat. Next album, named after the famed Boatlift of 1980. The same statement I made about M.I.A.M.I still rings true for Mariel, except this time it's semi-bold instead of medium. More 2000s era dance rap production, still from Lil Jon and the Diaz brothers, but also Pharrell and Shakespeare. Shall I compare thee to a summer's Dale? I will say, there is more of a Latin influence, maybe inspired by Culo's success or the political undertones of the album. That's right, in between the rhymes about how cool Pitbull is, there are interludes woven into the track list. These are more serious, reflecting the struggles that Pitbull has gone through in life. And I don't really care for them. Not that the perspective isn't warranted or valid, it's just that they create this feeling that Mariel is more serious, and it really isn't. The skits don't sit right with the majority of the record, which is still about partying and money and drugs. Now, I'm happy to marinate in that juxtaposition, but Pitbull doesn't match the skits' energy, aside from Blood is Thicker Than Water and Raindrops. I just feel like I'm making excuses for him. M.I.A.M.I is a good opener with some very good horns. Geloso is the Pharrell production, and what's the thing we all associate with Pharrell? Everybody say it on 3. 1, 2, 3, accordion. Bojangles with Lil Jon and the Yin Yang Twins was the biggest single off this record. It's fine, except that kick drum's too loud, man. Listen here, producers of this song that is almost 20 years old. Go into Logic or Fruity Loops or whatever you used and take the MIDI velocity of that kick drum from 127 to like 90. This album is a fine example of Pitbull's core ethos and musical style, though I would recommend checking out specific highlights over a full album listen. Mariel didn't score a hit like Culo, but it did better than M.I.A.M.I on the album's charts. Pitbull's star was still on the rise, so of course he went through a classic rite of passage for any celebrity in the 2000s. Appearing on MTV's Punk'd. In one episode, he gives out expired Thanksgiving turkeys by accident and tries to get this one kid's turkey back. The kid responds by having a complete mental breakdown. Man, to all my 2000s kids, what the hell were we doing? Why did we like this? He also got his own show in 2007, Pitbull's La Esquina. It was a variety show where Pitbull and friends would tackle a subject through interviews and social experiments.
Now this week, the topic is something, you know, it's hot, it's spicy, it's got salsa, it's got sazon, it's immigration, folks.
But it was made in the 2000s, so it was kinda dumb. In November 2007, we got Pitbull's third album, and the second named after the Mariel Boatlift, The Boatlift. At this rate, his next two albums will be called Of and 1980. Well, this time, we see the first change in Pitbull's sound. As pop music was entering its club phase, Pitbull was embracing the new sound of the late 2000s. A lot of reviews at the time noted this shift, whether it be due to the changing sound of pop, Pitbull's determination to gain a wider audience, or a mix of both. The anthem is the best song, largely thanks to that giant sax hook taken from Calabria. There's a bit of history in the making with My Life, which has the first credited appearance on a song by Jason Derulo. Instead of the serious interludes from El Mariel, we get interludes where Pitbull freestyles a cappella about how great he is. I can accept this. Secret Admirer with Lloyd was one of the singles, and I'm pretty tepid on it. Let me put it like this. When Pitbull says he has f***ed, I believe him. When he says he currently f***s or will f*** in the future, I don't believe him. Does that make sense? I buy his sexual prowess when he's using it to assert how great he is, but not when he's trying to actually seduce. I'm sorry, but he's trying to be a master seducer on the same album with a song called Dookie Love.
That's what I call her ass so fat. I wonder if your mama gave you that. You got that.
No, it's not spelled the same way, but it still sounds like the word, and so it's gross.
Este álbum es un buen ejemplo del espíritu central y el estilo musical de Pitbull, aunque recomendaría ver aspectos destacados específicos antes de escuchar el álbum completo.
Now, if you actually did what I said earlier, if you did not defy me, you marked on your calendar the time when I would tell you the funny story about Pitt's unreleased album. In 2007, Slip and Slide Records wanted to release Welcome to the 305, but TVT sued them to prevent the album's release and maintain their sole control over future Pitbull releases. Well, turns out, TVT lost that lawsuit and the following appeal, effectively leading to their bankruptcy in 2008. Pitbull used the break between labels to get in on the mixtape game. In September 2008, he released Free Agent, the first of 4 mixtapes released between 2008 and 2010. I'm not going to focus on the other mixtapes, but I'm highlighting this one because it's the first one, and because of one particular track. And you might already know what I'm about to bring up, but in case you don't, I'd like to introduce you to American War.
Where should I start? Let's start with how Bush tore the country apart. Now let's talk facts. All they want is oil in Iraq. Attention, we got Saddam but no Bin Laden. Looks like he's fighting the war for his daddy. Osama's people, Bush's people, them motherfuckers like family. Attention, last time I checked, war means more money for these corporate companies. Yeah, that's correct. Ain't Bush involved with all these companies? Yeah, that's correct. Oh shit, attention, misery loves company. So don't be surprised if them boys come for me. So if I end up missing, at least y'all know I wasn't bullshit. Attention.
Who would have thought the most vitriolic anti-war song of the 2000s would have come from this guy? In 2009, Pitbull not only formed his own Mr. 305 imprint, but he also signed with a subsidiary of Sony. And in August that same year, he released Pitbull starring in Revolution.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I know you want me. You know I want.
Can I start by saying, phenomenal kick drum, bro. It's this perfect blend of low end, punch, and air, confident but not forceful, and it goes so well with the snare and the little sonar ping. So this is the lead single, I Know You Want Me, Calle Ocho. I think this song is actually really good, and it's entirely because of the beat. Pitbull's fine on it too, but really it's that Eurodance influenced perk that gets me riled up. And not that kind of perk, I mean this kind of perk. It would go on to be a huge single. Speaking of huge singles, Hotel Room Service. I always thought that was the dumbest line. No offense to Holiday Inns, I've stayed at them before, but that is not the hotel chain I think of when conjuring wealth and rap game prowess. Well, it turns out I'm a bit ignorant. It's a reference to Rapper's Delight.
Everybody go hotel, motel, Holiday Inn.
Triumph has good horns. I will stand on this point, horns just sound good on Pitbull songs. Shut It Down has this robo voice saying, music? Thank you, robo voice, for confirming in real time that this is music. but the fact that you're saying it is makes me wonder if it really is. Crazy has Lil Jon, Across the World has B.O.B., which is why it's not called Around the World, Girls has Kesha. It's all standard, polished, late 2000s electro-pop rap, and Pitbull sounds more at home in it here than he did on Boatlift. I'd argue that the transformation of Pitbull had not fully completed yet. Sonically, it's pretty much there, but there's another piece that I think is even more important. Before that though, can anyone translate this? Revolution sold remarkably well, and it gave Pitbull 2 top 10 singles. Further boosting Pitbull's profile was the Pharrell-produced single Blanco from the Fast and Furious soundtrack. Not The Fast and the Furious, mind you, Fast and Furious. Some might point to Revolution as Pitbull's mainstream breakthrough, and fair enough, but I'd argue 2010 was the year Pitbull really took off, thanks to the songs he featured on. I will not touch on every single song that Pitbull has been featured on, because oh my god, he has done so many, so I'll only be focusing on the big ones. In 2010, those were Enrique Iglesias' I Like It and Usher's DJ Gotti's Falling in Love. I Like It was Enrique's big re-entry to the 2010 mainstream, though it's one of those hits that I never really heard in its day. I don't know why. I like it enough, it's fine. And DJ Gotti's Falling in Love is one of Usher's finest songs with a decent verse from Pitbull. Or actually, did you know there are 2 versions of this song? Yeah, the only difference is the Pitbull verse. One has the line about TiVo in 2010.
Bro, my life is a movie and you just TiVo.
And the other has way more Spanglish.
Dale, abre allí, papá Nicolás, baby, let me see. Yo soy el cubanito que está tostadito, yo fresco, no.
But there's a secret third version that's better than those 2, and truly, it's better than any song either artist has ever made. The Minecraft version.
So we back in the mine, got our pickaxe swinging from side to side, side to side.
In November 2010, Pitbull released Armando. You might think he named it after himself, but he actually named it after his father, who shares his name. See, he's there, in the clouds!
Mr. Worldwide.
Shh, Pitbull, don't say that yet. I'm working up to something. You can say it on the next record though. Now here's a question. Why does this album exist? I don't mean that in a mean-spirited way, like, this is so bad, why does it exist? But more like, why did he choose to do this after Revolution? He follows up his most commercially successful album yet, the one that gave him 2 genuine pop hits, with his first album primarily in Spanish, which would, spoilers, not sell remotely as well. I have to admire the decision to stick to one's artistic intuitions, even though this is not some major change in sound. It occupies the middle space between Boatlift and Revolution. While the words are not in English, the topics are very much the same. Money, parties, women, etc. Mujeres is a flip on the Beastie Boys' Girls. Bon Bon samples We No Speak Americano. Guantanamera, She's Hot translates to Girl from Guantanamo. She's hot. Vida 23 has Nair on it. We're so close. We're so goddamn close to peak. And Orgullo is a love letter to Pitbull's Latin heritage. If you didn't care for Revolution's full-on pop sound, you might enjoy Armando a bit more. And I hope you do, because Pitbull is about to learn what an oblate spheroid is. Armando sold fine and had no big hits, but it didn't matter. In 2011, Pitbull teamed up with a 2000s pop star looking to make her big comeback in this new era. That's right, he teamed up with Jennifer Lopez for Fresh Out the Oven. But it wasn't very good, so then they released this. You can rationalize it however you want, you can pretend you're above it, I don't care, On the Floor is a Bop. Classic pop song chord progression, solid reggaeton beat, melodica hook, never mind everyone's going to jail, and Pitbull works well on it, especially this bit with the low pass filter.
It's like a trunk full of bass on an old school Chevy, 7 tray Donkey Kong. All I need is some vodka and Shonky Kong, and watch it go get Donkey Kong.
2011 was also when Pitbull became an equity partner with Voli Vodka, a brand he would go on to own outright. And if you ever forget that, don't worry, he will remind you of that on basically every song going forward. In June 2011, scientists discovered Planet Pit. That name dates back to his Miami days. Planet Pit was his website. Let's pull up that opening track. They do? Apparently they do now. Mr. 305 has become Mr. Worldwide.
The 305 Worldwide.
I got this for my firstborn child, but honestly it works just as well for this scenario. Here's the true spiritual shift in Pitbull's style. Pitbull's songs are now fully about the good time. From Planet Pit onward, this man is throwing Gatsby-level get-downs. They sound lavish. Nearly every major pop producer of the early 2010s is on at least one song. And Revolution had the club sound dialed in, but Pit was still trying to drop bars like money was a major issue. That's not necessarily the case here. There's a newfound inclusionary attitude to these tracks. Pit's still gonna tell you how great he is, but that's more to establish the good time, his position as the ringleader of it, and why you should be having the good time. Take the first proper song, for example. Give Me Everything.
Me not working hard. Yeah, right, picture that with a Kodak. Or better yet, go to Times Square, take a picture of me with a Kodak.
Oh, stop. You looked fine that day. I don't know how these lines aren't more celebrated in music today. I remember you was conflicted. You wouldn't be with a Kodak. I don't know where I was going with that one. Pitbull was one of Kodak's celebrity reps when this song came out. Oh, so I just unwittingly did product placement for Kodak on behalf of Pitbull. I can't hate this song. It's dumb as hell, but Neo sounds good. So does Pitbull. He even gets to do a timely Lindsay Lohan reference.
So I'm tiptoeing, so keep blowing, I got it locked up like Lindsay Lohan.
Hope it was worth the near lawsuit, bro. Reign Over Me with Mark Anthony is like Enrique's I Like It, in that it's Pitbull with a Latin American pop star making a comeback, and I had not heard it in full until I went through Pitbull's albums. Seriously, I think this one completely missed my local pop stations. Hey Baby, Drop It to the Floor is memorable solely for the way T-Pain enunciates the word store.
Wanna see what you got in store.
You might be picking up on this, but the guest list is massive this time. Shake Sonora has both T-Pain and Sean Paul. Took My Love has Red Foo, like Red Foo from LMFAO. That's funny, right? It's in the name. International Love features... This was another big hit, with the classic move where Chris only names American cities on the chorus of a song called International Love. Man, this takes me back to the times when pop music was a lot easier to make fun of, which maybe isn't the healthiest thing to romanticize, but sometimes you just gotta play the role of bitch-ass consumer in the greater ecosystem. Remember back in the days when you pull up a YouTube music review and it'd be like,
I don't care who you are in this bar, it only matters who I am.
That isn't the correct present tense form of the verb be, you piece of shit. Is Planet Pit a good album? Is Pitbull not right behind me? You go to it for the singles, no question. The deep cuts don't do much to set themselves apart, except for something for the DJs.
If you're sexy and you know it, say oh yeah.
Wow, why didn't the trend of interpolating children's rhymes into pop music take off?
You love you, all of me. That's why this was.
Oh, okay, never mind. It looks like they were ahead of their time. And now I'm ahead of the clip's edge. Regardless of quality though, history had already been made. Mr. Worldwide was born.
Baby, I'ma make you feel so good tonight, 'cause we might not get tomorrow.
All of Planet Pit's singles were huge, specifically Give Me Everything, which became Pitbull's first #1 hit. April 2012 saw Pitbull team up again with J-Lo for Dance Again. This one's fine. He also featured on The Founding of a Charter School. Their first record does not get enough love. That's right, Pitbull founded the Slam Academy Charter School in Miami. 2 more slams have sprung up in the year since. I think this is good, right? The idea of Pitbull starting schools is funny to me, but I have not read anything to suggest that these are huge scams. I suppose the biggest objection you could have is if you just don't like charter schools, or if you don't want your kid's education being overseen by Mr. Worldwide. But he must put some stock in the school's curriculum, since some of his kids attended Slam. Wait, Pitbull has kids? Can Pitbull start beefing with Kendrick Lamar so Kendrick can expose more about Pitbull's 6 kids? But it was not all rainbows and dales for Pitbull in 2012. You see, there was this contest Pitbull did with Walmart. The gist was, people would vote on Facebook for their favorite Walmart store, and the winning store would get a visit and a concert from Pitbull. Sounds fun, harmless, right? Well, some real funny men thought it would be funny for Pitbull to perform at the most remote Walmart in the country. And through a grassroots online campaign, they got their wish. The winning Walmart was in Kodiak, Alaska. But to his credit, Pitbull followed through.
Well, you gotta understand that I will go anywhere in the world for my fans.
He flew out to Kodiak and he gave a performance. He even invited the guy behind the online petition. So, respect, Pitbull. Well played.
Good people in an untouched environment, and to be honest, it's very, very, very beautiful here.
In November 2012, Pitbull gave us Global Warming. So he was behind it. Named because, like global warming, Pitbull had existed for a long time, but was not recognized until he couldn't be ignored. Just for the sake of efficiency, I'll be looking at Global Warming Meltdown, the 2013 reissue that includes the Meltdown EP. Again, a Pitbull record is only really as good as its singles. Don't Stop the Party is a solid, no-frills Pitbull track.
Y'all having a good time out there.
Nice drum fill. Feel This Moment with Christina Aguilera is Pitbull's big inspirational anthem. Pitbull not only wants you to have the good time, not only wants you to recognize how cool he is, but he wants you to choose being present and conscious in this moment, so that this can hit you in the face even harder. Now look, is this rehashing of a-ha's Take On Me egregious? Does it not really make sense in context with the rest of the song? Is it just there to have a classic pop melody, do the grunt work so you don't really have to write a song? On one hand, yes. On the other hand, yes. I love how these days we complain about pop songs rehashing melodies as if it's a new thing, when Pitbull was out here paving the way a decade ago. Back in Time from the Men in Black 3 soundtrack has exactly one solid bit with the guitar sample. This bit right here.
It's Mr. Worldwide, AGA, reporting live.
I like how that sounds a good deal. I don't care for the rest of it. The sample is so random. Love is Strange by Mickey and Sylvia. Yeah, really? A song from 1956 sampled for a song in a movie that takes place in 1969? Who chose this? You know what else? The kick drum and the claps are way too much. They're pounding in my ears. What happened to the sweet, gentle boy who gave us the Calle Ocho kick drum? As far as deep cuts go, there's Party Ain't Over, which has Usher, and Have Some Fun, which interpolates All I Wanna Do by Sheryl Crow. See, this should make me feel the same way that Feel This Moment does, but at least this feels unique. The attached Meltdown EP tracks are okay as a whole, but the key song is Timber.
It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
Classic Pitbull track right here. Kesha is great on the hook, that harmonica's putting in work, and the whole track is soaked in country, perhaps inspired by the late Avicii's work around this time. Did you know Rihanna was supposed to be on this song?
I think it was something that she had to do with Shakira that wasn't able to work on our record. And happened to be Kesha. We did tour, we were on tour with her, and she's crazy, sexy, cool, wild, and fun.
This song allows me to bring up a common thread in some of Pitbull's songs. A casual misogyny?
Thicker than an oil spill. She say she won't, but I bet she will. Mommy got me twisted like a dreadlock. She don't wrestle, but I got her in a headlock.
Every so often, Pitbull drops a line that makes you wonder if his work would pass the Bechdel test. Now, some of this can be chalked up to the general trend of misogyny in hip-hop, since that's where Pitbull does come from, but opening that can of worms would invite a lot of bad faith arguments from those who see hip-hop as a scourge on society. Here's what I'll say. I'll remind you that Pitbull's songs are about the good time, and Pitbull, as the host of The Good Time, is using signifiers to show you that we are having the good time. So in many of these songs, women, and specifically conventionally attractive women, are used as props in the same way that money or alcohol are used. Pitbull portrays himself as confident. In his songs, things like money, wealth, success, sex are essentially guaranteed, and there is nothing in the lyrics that will say otherwise. And when I put it like that, I do kind of make Pitbull sound like Dennis from It's Always Sunny.
I'm not going to take no for an answer because I just refuse to do that because I'm a winner. And winners, we don't listen to words like no or don't or stop.
Is any of that a defense? Not really, but I don't think most listeners go to Pitbull for his groundbreaking takes on feminism. Actually, wait, there is an explicitly pro-woman song on global warming. Drinks for You, Ladies Anthem with Jennifer Lopez.
That's why this song is dedicated to all the women out there motivated, always finding ways to make ends meet. All my women out there innovate.
This is shockingly good. Not just for the lyrical angle, but it's got this more reserved groove to it. definitely unique in Pitbull's catalog. And while I'm offering genuine praise, Do It from the Meltdown EP has excellent retro soul production and vocals from Mayer Hawthorne. I'd love Pitbull to work with production like this more often.
Dieses Album ist ein gutes Beispiel für Pitbulls Key-Notez und Musikstil, obwohl ich empfehlen würde, sich bestimmte Highlights anzuhören, anstatt das Album in seiner Gesamtheit anzuhören.
Pitbull proved that global warming was not a hoax, because no one else could. He scored even more hit songs, especially with Feel This Moment and Timber. Following the album, we got 2 more songs with Jennifer Lopez, another Enrique Iglesias feature, a song with Priyanka Chopra back when she did music, M.I.A.M.I with Austin Mahone, a song with Gabby Ponte. Wait. Are you telling me? But Pitbull's biggest feature in 2014 came courtesy of the World Cup in Brazil, as he, J-Lo, and Claudia Leite gave us the event's official song, We Are One, Ole Ola. And the wondrous nation of Brazil responded with, what the hell is this? It's not bad, it just doesn't sound like a song to commemorate a Brazilian World Cup. It sounds like Pitbull made a demo that could be used for any big sports game and then added a teeny bit of Brazilian flair. Soon after the song came out, we got the Olodum remix. It's the better version, for sure. Pitbull released Globalization in November 2014. Let's check out the singles. Fun once again features... but it's got an excellent beat. I can't deny that.
Fun.
For the longest time, I thought Fireball was an outright advertisement for Fireball vodka. It's never explicitly named in the song, but when I heard this at college parties, I only ever heard the guy go, Fireball. And I knew that meant it was time for us all to destroy our livers. In reality, the song is just about being a fireball, though I imagine the brand synergy was not unintentional.
I saw, I came, I conquered, or should I say I saw, I conquered, I came.
Is it bad that I think that's actually really clever? Now, there's one question I've had about this song for years.
I'm the best you've ever had.
Who's this guy? His name is John Ryan. Has he done anything else? The only other songs John Ryan has been on as a featured artist are 2 by Brass Knuckles, but he has made music under different names, and he's done a ton of producing and songwriting. He's all over One Direction's catalog. Best Song Ever, Night Changes, Story of My Life, all him. These days, you'd know him for some of Sabrina Carpenter's stuff, most recently, Feather. So yeah, John Ryan, if you ever watch this, cheers to you, man. Hope you're doing well. This music video is fun too. Fireball. What was that? I know it's supposed to be an homage to cartoons, because then they've got a guy's jaw dropping to the ground and another guy's heart beating out of his chest. But with this guy, it looks like he just grew another pair of eyes on top of his eyes. What is this, ukulele? Celebrate is possibly the most family-friendly Pitbull track ever made. No mention of alcohol, sex, drugs. Why is that?
You can see me 3D overseas. If you know me, then you know where to find me. Off in the Bahamas with a bad one behind me.
Okay, but that just means there should be more drugs. Then there's Time of Our Lives. I sincerely believe that this is his best song. And it's not even because of the beat, which is what I've been praising most Pitbull songs for, though it does use the same guitar sample that's on Music Sounds Better With You, so that's cool. It's also not really because of Pitbull, it's because of Ne-Yo.
I work my ass out, but I still can't pay it though. Just enough to get off in this club, have me a good time. London, let's have a good time.
Something that Pitbull songs don't really do is acknowledge hardship. And that's understandable. No one's going to a party to hear anyone complain about their lives. Pitbull sometimes acknowledges his own hardships in life, but they're only there to underscore why the good time is happening and why he is leading it. But parties, social gatherings, are often how we escape the downsides of life. Ne-Yo's verse is a tactile acknowledgement of that. It's one of the few Pitbull songs that isn't just pure escapism. It's willing to go to a more real place just for a sec to make the good time feel more worthwhile.
This for everybody going through tough times. Believe me, been there, done that. But every day above ground is a great day. Remember that.
And everything else is fine. Globalization managed to wring out more hit singles from the Pitbull towel. That said, I do remember Fireball and Time of Our Lives being the last inescapable hits by Pitbull, and I'm willing to bet that's the case for you as well. But we didn't have to wait long for new music. Less than a year after Globalization, Pitbull released Dale in July 2015. This one is more or less the sequel to Armando, Pitbull's second album primarily in Spanish. How do I put this? I have virtually nothing to say about this particular album, but I also think it's pretty solid and possibly Pitbull's most consistent record in ages. Pitbull's status as the good time haver is still here, it's just based around a more centralized sound. And the personnel involved reflect that. Everyone here is from the Latin music world. The opener Piensas Dile la Verdad is good, El Taxi is fun, Hoy Bebe is also fun, Mami Mami is solid. Like Armando, the subject matter on these songs is the same as any other Pitbull album. Drugs, money, women, partying, etc.
Cet album est un bel exemple de la philosophie et du style musical de Pitbull, même si je recommanderais de consulter des moments forts spécifiques plutôt qu'une écoute complète de l'album.
Dale did well in the Latin music world, and it earned Pitbull his first ever Grammy. He even performed El Taxi at the 2016 ceremony. As a reluctantly avid Grammys viewer, I did not remember this at all. He closed the whole ceremony. My guess is that I forgot because it happened right after the big 1989 To Pimp a Butterfly upset. All right, everyone, that was one of the most memorable moments in 2010's Grammy history. Coming up next is a bunch of dudes. He also performed a new song that night, which would be our first taste of Climate Change, released in March 2017. I assume that the title comes from how climate change encompasses more environmental effects than just global warming, and now Pitbull encompasses more than just music. I was going for a joke, but I think I just explained the genuine meaning behind the title. Pitbull is once again shaking things up a bit. This was 2017 after all. Our champions were not Maroon 5, Imagine Dragons, and Calvin Harris. They were Maroon 5, Imagine Dragons, and Calvin Harris. On Climate Change, Pitbull experiments with some new sounds to see what would stick now that the early 2010s club sound was moving out of pop. And in some instances, his experimenting pays off. We Are Strong with Kaisa? That's a good opener. Big and loud with those jittery vocals, it speaks to the part of my mind that forgives the Chainsmokers their sins because they made roses. Bad Man was the song Pitbull closed the 2016 Grammys with. It's got this raw rock and roll feel, courtesy of Travis Barker, Joe Perry, and Robin Thicke. If I said this had major divorced dad energy as a compliment, would you believe me? Freedom continues the rock with a sample of the Rolling Stones' I'm Free. Greenlight, I think this is really solid. A great funk beat, Lunch Money Lewis sounds good on the hook, Pitbull and Flo Rida both fulfill their purpose in the broader cosmic scope. Not everything hits though. Messing Around with Enrique Iglesias interpolates REO Speedwagon.
Heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who
Heard it from another, you've been messing around.
God, this feels awkward. I'm also not crazy about Options with Stephen Marley.
Man, you JFK. Mommy, you out your man.
Jesus Christ. What else? There's Dedicated with Austin Mahone and... Climate Change sold okay and scored some modest hits. Later in 2017, we got Pitbull's Greatest Hits record. There were 2 new songs on there, and they are fine, but you don't care. You don't go to a Greatest Hits album for new experiences. In between albums, Pitbull tried his hand at a new medium. In 2018, he was brought in to help with the music for John Travolta Mafia movie, Gotti. I love how they used the specific Pitbull logo on the soundtrack cover. What do you think Pitbull's brand guidelines look like? Now, the score is whatever, it's mediocre. Generic Mafia movie music. Pitbull provided 2 original songs, So Sorry and Amore. Amore is actually decent. Pitbull over this mob movie trap beat is oddly compelling, but still nothing on the score is mind-blowing. The reason I'm highlighting this score is because, for the sake of research, I watched Gotti, and in order to write off that film on my taxes, I'm going to trauma dump onto all of you because this movie is so bad. It was directed by Kevin Connolly, known for such work as playing E from Entourage.
Let me tell you something. New York is the greatest city in the world.
I wish I could tell you what happened in it, but I don't think events actually happen in this film. It's like someone watched a mob movie classic after taking a bunch of Xanax and then tried to make their own mob movie based on that. Here's another fun bit. That was it. I gotta say though, this film does open up some interesting historical discussions. For example, how is it that in this 1980s bar, the song Bad Man by Pitbull is playing in the background? Or at this block party, again, in the 1980s, how are they playing both Don't Stop the Party by Pitbull and Fireball by Pitbull? I feel like I'm the only person brave enough to say it, but Gotti is bad. Don't watch it.
This life ends one of two ways, dead or in jail. I did both.
Pitbull's next album would be his first independent release in over a decade, Libertad 548 in September 2019. His dad is once again on the cover, not in the clouds this time, but that's okay. The title is also a reference to Pitt's father, who brought 548 Cuban Americans to the US in the Mariel Boatlift. This one's an interesting hodgepodge, a bit of the Spanglish from Dale, pop hooks from Planet Pitt and Global Warming, some reggaeton from the Miami days. Think of it like a continuation of Climate Change's experimentation, just with greater emphasis on Latin music. Production this time was largely handled by Pitbull's DJ I Am Chino, Jorge Gomez, and Jimmy Joker. The opener, Winning, is fun, in part because they say winning like Winnie. Happy Mama Day combines a good reggaeton beat with the Everybody Everybody sample. 3 to Tango has this sultry salsa groove, and I like the production a good deal, but I think Pitbull kinda ruins the mood. He's on here describing a threesome with all the reductive excitement of a teenage boy.
Now mathematically this doesn't make sense, but in this scenario, 1 + 1 = 3.
I like that. I like that he took time to lay out the rules of the song's universe. I wish more songs did that. Now, physiologically, this doesn't make sense, but in this scenario, I'm a cup of espresso. The music video's fine too, but Pitbull's sitting for most of it? Uncharacteristically quiet performance from Mr. Worldwide. Come on, man, get up, do something.
Oh, round and round and round and round we go.
Why was John Travolta playing Gotti when he could be starring in the Pitbull biopic?
Dale.
Not every song's a winner for me though. Me Cuidare Contigo reminds me way too much of Train's Hey Soul Sister. Is it unfair to dismiss it solely based on that? The song is fine, I just can't hear it without thinking of Pat Monahan's untrimmed chest. The lowest point is Get Ready. This one tries to bring in some of the rock from Climate Change with a dash of the country from Timber, and it does not work. Why?
Whoa, get ready, bam-a-lam. Whoa, get ready, bam-a-lam. Whoa, get ready, bam-a-lam. Get ready to ride.
I'm sorry, but you've got Blake Shelton singing the hook from Black Betty with all the passion of a plank of wood? I have never felt more deflated by a song's chorus in my life. Like Dale before it, Libertad and its singles did pretty well in the Latin world. Pitbull had some shows and a Vegas residency scheduled for 2020, but of course they were all canceled due to COVID. But here's something cool. In April 2020, he released his COVID anthem, if you will. I Believe That We Will Win. Pitbull, I love the energy. It is a virus and not a sports team, but your heart's in the right place, so it's fine. Plus, the money from the single went to charity, so yeah, good job, Pitbull. Good job. Oh hey, Pitbull was on Drink Champs later in 2020. I wonder if he spoke on the song in any greater detail and how it came together.
Which is basically putting out a concert in this world that we're living in right now, whether it's the pandemic, scandemic, plandemic, whatever you want.
Wait, what?
You gotta read the tea leaves, bro. And the reason I can have this conversation is because my family comes from communism. They fled communism. They had everything taken away from them. Everybody got murdered. Everybody got killed. When Castro took over everything, and I'm looking at what's going on right now, the only person here that's hot, 38 hot, is Castro. He's going, y'all did it with a virus? Y'all took over the world with a virus? Y'all gotta be kidding me. This shit gets deep. The only thing is do you wanna realize how deep it is?
Pitbull, I trusted you. I mean, he did say he wanted unvaccinated women in that one song. Just to be clear, he's wrong. COVID was not a hoax. For all the people who trust Pitbull exclusively for their information on science, I hope you do your own follow-up research. For most of 2021 and 2022, Pitbull was back on the road with Iggy Azalea. I'm baffled the two of them have never done a song together. I don't want it to be clear, I'm just surprised. But Pitbull the business magnate was up to more tricks. He's not Pitbull, he's Pitbull. In 2021, he became the co-owner of the NASCAR team Trackhouse. Times like these call for celebrations and brand synergy. In October 2023, Pitbull released Trackhouse. I was looking forward to a continuation of Libertad, and I did get that, but in a monkey's paw kind of way. So many songs here take their cue from Get Ready. Take a recognizable song, either present it as is or make it about partying, and have Pitbull rap over it. The blatant sampling on this album is so much worse than any other Pitbull record. Jumpin' is just Jump Around with Lil Jon. Freak 54 Freak Out is just Lay Freak, though it does have Nile Rodgers on it. It Takes 3 is It Takes 2. Let's Take a Shot.
Everybody say hey, yeah, yeah.
Mr. Worldwide.
Is it basically just Pitbull doing karaoke? Yes. But I think I get why he's doing it. Remember, Pitbull is still the host of the party, the good time. When I used to DJ parties, I learned that most people don't want to hear songs they don't know. They want to hear the hits. So why wouldn't Pitbull jam his songs with recognizable melodies? It's like his own hits playlist where he interjects every so often. But like with Libertad, Pitbull is at his best when he's working with a Latin sound, like on Lit in the City, Suave, or Bandolero. Let me also tackle the Daytona 500 Edition EP, which includes an additional 7 songs. Maybe these will feature more creativity than the main album. There It Is just Whoop There It Is. Get Down is just I Like It, I Love It by Tim McGraw. Good Life is just Good Times. Tequila is just Tequila Little Time by John Party. And Powerful Women is just 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. The rehashing is openly taunting us. At the very least, that last one does feature Dolly Parton.
Thank you, Dolly. Dolly.
This probably isn't the case, but imagine if that chuckle was Pitt realizing the name synergy in real time. The last 2 tracks are Thank God and Jimmy Buffett. Didn't know Pitbull was a Buffett fan, but Go Off King. And Guantanamera, She's Hot comes from Armando. This is not a new song. Turns out it blew up on TikTok recently, so it got a re-release. One last note about this record, on the song Roof on Fire, he says this.
Baby, I got ADD, you're delicious dick.
And at first I thought he said he had a DDD. If he had, I would have changed the name of this series on the goddamn spot.
Crazy, getting loose.
For good chunks of 2023 and 2024, Pitbull was on tour with Enrique Iglesias and Ricky Martin. I actually went to this show, and it's where I got COVID for the first time. I guess you could say Pitbull took my life from negative to positive. Pitt's got another tour with T-Pain this year, and as far as other ventures go, he's now in the restaurant business. He became an equity partner in Miami Grill, and the latest location just opened in Nevada. Go check it out next time you're at the Henderson Walmart. If you want to get into Pitbull, check out the Greatest Hits compilation. That's where the real bangers are. But if you just need Pitbull albums in your life, I'd say check out M.I.A.M.I, Revolution, Global Warming and Meltdown, and Libertad 548. And if you want to hear more about artists and their albums and their stories, check out my deep DISCOG dive on De La Soul.